So is this mic on? Okay, great. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Terry. It's awesome to be back here, and I thank you guys for sticking around this late in the day to listen to my talk. This is always a special time for me to come back and see folks and reacquaint myself with some old friends. So I appreciate the opportunity, Mike, to give me a chance to speak today. The minister mentioned this morning in her speech a new tool that we've developed in MNR that will help us to share some of our fisheries data with folks, and we're excited to give you guys a sneak preview of a new tool that we've developed for our website called Fish On-Line. Just wait for the slide to come up there. Technology willing. Just throw on the first slide. Any of the folks that know me know that since I was a young kid, I've had a love affair with fish and fishing. And for me, it's a good thing I was born in Ontario because we have awesome fisheries in Ontario. I'll just direct your attention to the top left corner of the screen there. That's my two boys. One really happy, one a little grumpy that his brothers just caught a nice big fat lake trout. But the amazing part of that picture was that picture repeated itself 35 times that morning. And over the course of a week on that trip up to northwestern Ontario, we've caught probably over 120 lake trout that size and that scope. I don't know if there's any place else in the world that you could have that kind of experience. And Mike will tell you, like, I'm not even that good of a fisherman, so that's really an amazing story. Across the province, we're blessed with a tremendous diversity of opportunities. So we've got that far north, remote northern lake. We've got fisheries that occur in downtown Toronto where folks in an urban environment can be engaged. We've got everything from muskie to bluegill. And, you know, we have those tremendous fisheries. It's not an accident. We've been working at managing these fisheries sustainably for over 100 years. Not just MNR, but us collectively. Mike pointed out this morning all the work that the Federation's been doing on fisheries in the province and have been doing for decades. And I just want to say, as manager of fisheries section, thank you. Thank you for your help. And thank you for the hard work. And I know you guys work hard on the ground because I've been there with you. Next slide. So this tool is going to be part of telling our fisheries story. And it's just going to be one part of hopefully what we'll be able to show is lots of other things that will come up in the near future around telling our fisheries story. So I'm going to tell you a bit about what Fish On-Line is. It's responding to that public question, where should I go fishing? Where do you guys stock fish? What are the regulations on the lakes? And really trying to provide those types of information to the public in an easy, accessible, fun way. You know, lots of folks were viewing the lack of information on where to fish as a barrier to recruitment to anglers. So we talk with the OFH, we talk with the Fish and Wildlife Commission about ideas for how we could get this started. When I first started working in fisheries section, Andy Todd, the manager then, and I talked a lot about how we could do this, and we kind of jotted it down on a napkin. And I want to introduce Kevin Collins because we handed the napkin to him and asked him to develop a prototype that we could shop around and make this project happen. And Kevin works in my section. He's kind of the brains behind this operation. He's going to take us through a live demo here in a couple of seconds. So Fish On-Line is a web-based tool. What it's basically done is it's taken all the fisheries information we have in databases, and it's linked that data to a Google map. In the tool currently, we have information on about 13,000 lakes across the province. We have stocking information for the past 10 years for our put, grow, and take lakes that are in the tool. And at the moment, we have depth contour maps for about 800 lakes, and we're constantly upgrading that number as we move forward here. And we're taking a bit of a phased approach to this project. So this isn't the final Cadillac version. This is just phase one in a project that will continue to grow. We didn't want to wait till we had every bell and whistle done on it. We wanted to get the information out to you folks as fast as we could. So we took the data that we have currently in databases, like our stocking information, like our species presence and absence data, and we wanted to get that out there. And you know, as you work through the tool, you're going to find some things where maybe there's a little glitch and the data isn't perfect, or the contour lines on a lake don't quite line up with the lakeshore. we didn't want to get too hung up on making that absolutely perfect before we got it out. We wanted to get it out to the public so folks can use it. And through feedback from you, we'll be able to improve that data as we move forward. And then we'll start, after we launch this phase 1 in early April, we're going to continue to work on phase 2, where we start to look at things like boat access points, developing a searchable regulations database, better links for tourism to help promote our tourism industry, things like that. So, and that work will be guided by feedback from the clients. So now, technology willing, we'll give you a live demo. So when you click onto the Fish On-Line icon on your new MNR webpage coming April 1st, you'll see this map of Ontario. And there's several ways that you can get information on fish from this application. So we'll sort of just walk you through it, and Kevin will steer, I'll shout instructions. So we'll start at the top. So what we've done at the top, in the top left-hand corner there, is we've put a list of sort of our top 20, 25 most heavily fished water bodies. So they're popular lakes that folks access all the time. So maybe, Kevin, you could select Rice Lake. Is that on there? Yeah, let's pick Rice Lake. When you pick Rice Lake, it'll zoom you into Rice Lake, and there's a little icon there for you to click on. You click on that icon, and up comes some information about Rice Lake. You can see it's got a surface area of 9,000 hectares. It tells you a bit about the depth. Tells you what zone it's in. If you click on the tab that says fish, it'll tell you the different types of fish that are in the lake. So maybe you click on bass there for a second, Kevin. I can get a fact sheet now on rock bass in this case. If I click on that fact sheet, it'll pop you over to our website, give you a picture of what a rock bass looks like, tell you how to catch them. Don't worry, I didn't write the how to catch them. We actually got someone who knows how to fish to write the how to catch them piece. Just go back there, Kev. We got a link here to the guide to eating sport fish, so you can get information on contaminants. So you can get information on the contaminant load in your fish. We've got some information on exporting, transporting fish, just some rules around it. We don't really need to click on that. And if we had stocking in this lake, which we don't, we could click on the stocking tab and it would give us information about that. I can also get directions from my house to Rice Lake, or from some other place to Rice Lake. So any old spot, Kev, from Toronto, sure. And it'll pop out to Google and give me a regular Google Maps set of directions from Toronto to good old Rice Lake here in back home in the Kawarthas. So we'll just go back to the search again piece, I think, for a second, Kev. So that's pretty good. So now there's maybe other ways. So then I'm going to do is mention by water body name. So I'm going to try Round Lake. And I can narrow my search down to 10, 30, 50, 100, or 300 kilometers from any address in the province. So in this case, we're going to go for Round Lake by Pembroke. And it'll zoom into Pembroke, and then it'll show me the round lakes that exist around Pembroke. And we'll pick Round Lake E, just as an example. It zooms into Round Lake E. And I'm going to use this as an example to show you one of the sort of the lake depth contour map. So Kev's going to click on that. On the map, on the lake itself, it shows the contours. I can zoom in, I can click over to satellite mode, and I get a picture of what the depth contours are on the lake, so I can pick out my my spots that I want to fish before I go out on the lake. Just head back there, Kev. I can also search by fish species. So I like to fish for walleye. So I'll fish, let's pick walleye, and I'm going to search for walleye within 100 kilometers of Peterborough, being a Kawarthas boy. So it zooms into Peterborough, and now it's going to show me a listing of all the walleye lakes in Peterborough. There's lots of them. whole number of them. I'll maybe select, just go down the list. We'll pick Belmont. Again, click on the icon. Up comes some information. I can get regulation information, get the walleye fact sheet, and get information about walleye lakes in Ontario. Whatever information we have that pertains to that water body, we've tried to incorporate it into this search. The problem is I can't catch walleye in the Kawarthas, not because they're not there, just I'm not good at fishing the thick weed for walleye. So I think I'm going to search for, pack the kids in the car and go on a trip to Kenora where I know I can catch walleye. Anybody can catch walleye. Now to get the stocking list from the district, and it's just we've done it. So now this way you'll be able to find the stock lakes. Not only will you be able to find them, you'll be able to search. There's a whole list of them. As I click across these numbers, more of them will come up. But for now, I'm going to, well, sorry, Kev. So, yeah, let's take that one, H. Fish up in the park there for a bit. So I'm looking at Lake Black Fox Lake. Man, I need glasses. And it provides me the stocking history. So any of the stocking that we've done over the last 10 years in that lake, it gives me the information. It tells me the life stage that the fish were stocked and how many of those fish were stocked. So just go back. In this case, this lake happens to be in a park, and Algonquin Park has OFH Tackle Share, so we've provided a link to the OFH Tackle Share program so that folks can learn more about that, and they can get a rod and reel if they go up to the park and want to try fishing. It also allows me to link directly to the park website because I want to go to that lake and I want to book a campsite. So I can go onto the Algonquin Park website and learn more about Algonquin Park, and then book my campsite directly online, and my trip is ready to go. Just zoom back. Now, I remember a few years ago, Bob Allen took me fishing there, so that takes us to our next thing. And I wish I had had my GPS unit to take me back to those lakes that he took me to. Because what I could do is I could have taken the GPS coordinates of that brook trout lake Bob took me to, where I spent the day netting his fish. And I could enter those GPS coordinates into this tool and find out where the lake was and what the name of the lake was, what the stocking history was, whatever. So it'll zoom me right into wherever my GPS coordinate was. So if you're bombing around on your ATV, you come across a lake, you can check it out. And then just from anywhere in the map, you can simply get directions from one point to another by just pulling those arrows out and placing them on the map, and it will take you out to Google Map again and provide you with those directions. We don't need to do that now. The other thing we've got in here now is we've got the location of Service Ontario locations where you can get a license. Eventually, in the not too distant future, we'll have all the license issuers in the province. Just zoom in there, Kev, to a little bit. Yeah, so this shows you where all the Service Ontario locations are in the province where you can pick up a license. As I said, we'll eventually have all the license information. You can click on the icon, and it comes up with some details about the Service Ontario Centre and what services they provide there. That's pretty much it for the demo of phase one. I've got a couple more slides I'll just walk through if you want to flip back to the presentation, Kev. So what are the benefits of this product to the public? Hopefully it's obvious, but it's a quantum leap in terms of anglers' ability to find information on where and how to fish. Before this tool, what I used to do when I was a kid with my dad was we'd throw the canoe in the back of the driver until we found an access point, and throw the canoe in the water and try to figure out what kind of fish were in the lake. And that's how we did our exploration. Now I can do that on the website at home before I go out fishing. It's hopefully going to help us to promote Ontario's fishing product and the quality fisheries that we have in Ontario. It's providing us with clear, transparent access to fisheries information and stocking data. It's easier to get regulatory information, and it's going to be even easier in the future. So It'll help us to take that 100-page book that we have to work through to find out the regs on a lake, and it'll be able to tell us what the regs are for that particular area I'm looking at. And it makes it easier to plan and book your fishing trips, which has obvious economic benefits for the province and hopefully will help our tourism industry. So what are the next steps? The product will launch on our website in early April at www.ontario.ca/fishing. This little symbol on the side here is where when you come up to our new webpage starting in April, there'll be a series of pictures that you can click on to get information on a whole bunch of things. Fish Online will be one of those things, and I hope you'll check out some of the other buttons as well that'll provide you with information on some of the science work we're doing, some of our regs work, all kinds of neat stuff. You know, we're going to have a mechanism on the tool to provide feedback, so we're interested in hearing your feedback, both where you find mistakes in the data, but also where or new information that we can have, but also in terms of what types of things you might like to see for phase 2 of the project. And we're starting right away to begin looking at phase 2 of the project. So that's about all I have, Terry.